Hello, friend. All right, so here we are. We are going to look at the channel of logic, the 63-4, which comes from the head center or the inspiration down into the Ajna Center for conceptualization. So this is the design of mental ease mixed with doubt. So again, it's illogical, right? Here we are back in the logical circuitry, and logical circuitry wants systems. It wants to be able to master and perfect and bring us into the future. So in order for that whole process to happen, we have to doubt it. There has to be a doubt of the pattern so that the answers can then be created, the opinions can then be expressed with detail. You know, if opinions are being expressed not based in fact or detail, that's not an opinion. An opinion is to be based in detail. And the logical, systematic process, it's constantly challenging. It's always challenging, right? It's challenging so that we can move into the future. How do we vitally move humanity into the future? Well, we have to doubt the pattern. So, perfecting, I don't really love that word because I don't think that there's ever a perfected process, just because of the fact that as we evolve, no different than science, as we evolve, there is, again, the observer effect, right? The more we look, the more we find. The more we see, the more we look, the more we find, the more we see. So there is no such thing as perfecting. And even in design, right? We're perfecting the information that Rob brought down because we're experimenting, we are testing the patterns, we're watching this all take place, and we get to hone it and better it. And there is no really, to me, no thing such as perfection. So my belief based off of experience. So, excuse me, all ends are beginnings. All ends are beginnings. Doubting happens after the experiment. Doubting happens after, where on the other side, the abstract side, before the experience. Did I say after? My apology. Doubting happens before the experiment. Before the experiment. So you doubt it, then you experiment with it. You doubt it, you experiment with it. Now on the abstract side, you have the experience. After the experience comes to an end, you get to understand, come to a realization. On this side of the process, the understanding piece, is and the doubt happens prior to the experiment. And then what happens is then we doubt it, and then we test it so that we can come to an answer. And then that answer creates an opinion. And then that creates an expression of detail of, I think this is how the system works. So the fourth gate, this gate of answers, formalization, because that's what this is all about. Science is all about formulas. That's all that this is taking place. And formulas are seductive. They are very, very, there's seduction there. They seduce us into seeing the pattern, into being able to understand the system. There's this seductive process that happens. And why is it seductive? Logic is craving energy. It's craving, it needs to have somebody fund it. So it has to be seductive. It's seducing funding. There's this seductive energy so that somebody will drop some cash into that scientist's pocket. So the sixth line it says excess, being patient, even though this is on the instinctive knowing or the splenic side. Patience is required. Even though the spleen or the instinctive knowing is spontaneous. It's very spontaneous. Remember, the emotional manifesting generator, that is the universe. The universe needs time. So even though the spleen is keeping us vital moment by moment by moment, in order to come up with a formula, we have to be patient, because there's a step-by-step systematic mastery of that logical process. So comprehending the fact that formulas require time. Formulas require time. And the scientific world understands this because they're testing it all the time. They're testing it, and it takes time to do that. Cannot happen spontaneously. So if you've enjoyed this video, please share it. Please like it, and definitely, tell your friends and subscribe to the channel, because I love this stuff. I love watching how it all plays out in the world and explaining it to you. And if this is a part of your design, you're a very logical thinker. And in order for anybody to present information to you and try to get you to change your mind, it has to be logical and systematic, and it has to be based in facts. Facts are important. All right. So if you want to work with me, here's my information. Thank you very much for watching. Take care.